Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is my first YouTube video, so I thought that for today I'm just going to do just a basic makeup look. This is just kind of a soft, basic, glowy eyeshadow look that I thought I'd do for the start. Just tell me how you like it, give me a like and a comment down below, and if you'd like to see something more, just give me a comment down below. So I'm just going to start by prepping my skin just before I move on to my eyeshadow. So the first product I'm going to use is the MAC Strobe Cream. I love this because I've got quite dry skin, so this is really nice and deep and hydrating just before I do my foundation, because I find that if you have a good base, especially if you've got dry skin, it makes such a difference when it comes to applying your foundation. So I'm just going to put this on everywhere, and you can see already like the glow that it gives my skin. So just while I let that sink in, I'm going to just go ahead and start with my eyebrows. So the product that I love using for my eyebrows is just a pomade, because I've got really sparse eyebrows, so I find that it's a lot easier to use a pomade, just because I feel like I can fill up my hairs a lot better. So yeah, I love the Anastasia Beverly Hills pomade just because it's nice and dark, and the colour that I use is caramel. So I'm just going to go ahead and fill in my eyebrows with a angled brush. Okay, so I've just literally lightly filled them in. If you can see, they're just a little bit more defined. So next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to carve out my eyebrows. I just find like this is really good because I get a nice base for my eyeshadow, and it just makes my eyebrows nice and sharp and cleans them up. So the concealer I'm going to use is the Tarte Shape Tape. I love this concealer because it's really thick, and I just find like it covers my veins and stuff in my eyelids and gives me a good base when it comes to my eyeshadow. So I'm just going to quickly carve my eyebrows. So when it comes to carving my eyebrows, I literally just draw a line under the arch. This just cleans up where I filled in and makes them a lot sharper, and then I just drag the concealer down onto my lid, as you can see there. I always find if you use a concealer on before your eyeshadow, not only does it blur out your veins and just gives you a nice clean base, I find it gives your eyeshadow something to stick to, so it definitely helps. Like if you struggle with getting your eyeshadow to stick to your eyes, I definitely find that it helps for that. And then after I do this step, we're going to go and set my base just so it's not too sticky, so the eyeshadow doesn't cling. Grand, so once I've just set my base down, I'm just going to go in with just a big fluffy brush, and I'm just going to take some powder and just set my eyeshadow just before I go in, just like because like I said, I don't want it to clump on my eyes. So I'm just going to quickly set that with some powder, and then I'm going to move on to my eyeshadow. I'm just going to go with a really basic look today, just for kind of a beginner's look, just for my first YouTube video. So if you want me to do something a little bit more extravagant and exciting, or even a Christmas look, just leave a comment down below and I can do that for you. So I'm just going to start with a nice base colour. I always find if you're starting out with makeup, the best thing to do is just start with a nice transition colour. So I'm going to be taking some of the Ingloss eyeshadows. This is just a flexi palette that I've made myself, and I'm just going to take, what colour am I going to take? I'm just going to take this light peach colour on a big fluffy brush, so this colour here, and I'm going to take it on this big fluffy brush, and I'm just going to put that in my crease. Starting out with a transition shade is really good because it's something for the rest of your eyeshadows to blend into, and it just makes it a lot easier for you, especially if you're starting out with eyeshadow. I recommend doing a base eyeshadow. It just makes your life a hell of a lot easier. And if you're not very comfortable with doing eyeshadow, I find, now I look a little bit crazy right now, but it's a work in progress. But I definitely find that if you're a beginner starting makeup and you're kind of struggling with eyeshadow, like even just using 1 and 2 eyeshadows on your lid and building up is a great way to start, because it looks like you put in a lot more effort than you actually have. So I'm being really messy with this. I'm not really trying to be too precise. lightly and blend it out. I usually don't have eyelash extensions on, but today I do, so that's why I'm kind of going for just a little bit more of a natural look. The next eyeshadow I'm going to go into is an orange colour here. I've got browny yellow eyes, so I find that using a more orange toned brown really brings out my eyes. And I feel like it's a really flattering colour on any eyeshadow. Sorry, on any eye shade. Especially if you've got blue eyes, brown brings out blue really well. So I'm just going to place this in the exact same place, but I've used an even smaller brush, if you can see that there. And I'm just going to place that colour just below where I put the transition shade. So this basically blends into that colour that I've just done, and it just deepens it. So this defines my eye socket, just makes your eyes look a little bit bigger, and again, it just looks like you put in more work than you actually have. Here what I'm just doing is just literally taking a clean brush and buffing all that eyeshadow out just to smoke it out and make it a little bit more smoky. A lot of people get really scared when it comes to eyeshadow and blending your eyeshadow up to your brow bone, but I definitely find that it looks a lot more flattering because it opens your eyes. And obviously I have eyelashes on now, but I'd usually use strip lashes, and when I put strip lashes on top, like, it can usually hide your eyeshadow. So I find that if you blow your eyeshadow up and you're not too scared to like put it up, like my eyeshadow is nearly up to my eyebrows right now, but it comes all, like it brings it all together eventually, and I find that it's a lot more flattering than blending it down lower and then putting on eyelashes and it just being completely covered up. So now I'm just going to go in. It's just like art, like you'd always use a darker colour and a darker colour when it comes to shading, so we're basically going to be shading on my eyes. So I'm now going to take an even darker colour. I'm going to take this colour right here, and on again, like the darker the colour, the smaller the brush. So I'm going to be taking an even smaller brush, which is just this one here. As you can see, they're basically the same brushes, but they're just getting smaller and smaller, and as I'm getting a darker and darker colour. So I'm just going to take that darker colour even further down. This is going to be going really close to my lash line, but I'm not going to be blending it all the way out. I'm going to keep it really close to my lash line and just in the outer corner of my eye, and then we're going to smoke it out, and you'll see that it creates a kind of a darker, smokier effect. And this again makes your eyes look a lot bigger and is just a really flattering style of eyeshadow on any eye shape, because it just brings your eye colour out and makes your eyelids appear a lot bigger than they actually are. So I'm just really roughly placing that dark colour down, as you can see right now. And then I'm going to take, again, a clean brush, a big fluffy brush, and I'm just going to blend that out and let it smoke out. So you kind of just let the brushes do the work for you. It's just placing in the colours in the correct order and the right shades. So I've just smoked that out, and you can see it's just made a gradient effect. And now, because I've made my eyes a lot darker, I want to bring a lot of colour back into my eyes. So usually what I do for that is I've done a lot of matte eyeshadow there. So I'll introduce a bit of a shimmer on the inner to the outer half of my eye, just to make your eyes pop and appear bigger, because now I've made them look a little bit smaller just by that dark eyeshadow. So I'm just going to take a highlighter here, and this is this is MAC's Oh Darling, and I'm going to take that on a teeny tiny little bullet brush, and I'm just going to place this on my inner corner out till halfway on my lid, and this is just going to brighten my eyes and make them pop a little bit more. I'm just going to go back into, again, my little blending brush that I've used for every colour, and just gently blend all those eyeshadows again together. So it's kind of the same for every eyeshadow that you put down, you blend afterwards, just to make sure that you blend seamlessly. Like, the most important part of eyeshadow is blending it. It's just like art, like I've said, it's blending your colours together and shading. So that's all I'm going to do for my eyes for now. I'm going to now move on to my skin. So I've already primed with my strobe cream. I'm now going to go in with my foundation. So the foundation I'm going to use is the Huda Beauty foundation, and I'm in the colour Baklava. This is a great colour for your tan. As you can see, my neck is darker than my face, so I'm going to be blending that in. So my favourite foundation brush to use at the moment is like a little dense kabuki brush, because I'm a girl that's like, give me all the makeup or none. So I like full coverage, and I find that this kind of brush, you can see the shape of it there, and it's like flat on the top. It's really dense bristles, so I find that it's really good for packing in the foundation. So I'm just going to take about 2 pumps of my foundation, and it's going to look really dark at the start, but it's going to come together, so don't get too scared. So I'm just literally going to be stiffling that into my skin. Of course, blend it down to my neck because nobody wants a foundation line. I'm just going to blend it all the way down. Don't forget about the ears. Also, just as important as the neck. So just like I carved underneath my eyebrows, sorry, I'm now going to carve above them just with this foundation, just so I don't go in with the eyeshadow brush and mess it up. I just find that doing this is a lot easier when it comes to blending your foundation on your forehead. So just quickly gonna carve the top of my eyebrows, just like so, and then it makes it a lot easier when it comes to me just putting my foundation on. Again, buffing into, I've got my hair up, so I need to make sure that I buff this right into my hairline because I can't be having a foundation line. As you can see, this foundation is so thick and just completely, you saw all my freckles at the start, and it's just so thick and completely covers up anything. So if you're somebody that prefers a light to medium coverage, I would stay away from this, but if you like me and you're an all or nothing kind of gal, I recommend. So I've just made sure that it's completely blended. I'm now going to move on to my concealer. So for my concealer, I'm going to use the same concealer that I used on my lids, which is the Tarte Shape Tape. So I just put this under my eyes, just a few triangles. Going to look like a little tribal person right now. Cupid's bow, my chin, dotting here on my nose, down the center of my nose and my forehead. So because that foundation is so full coverage, right now I'm just like a blank face, so I need to bring some light back into my face. So again, like art, we're going to do some shading and highlighting. So right now I'm highlighting, so I'm just going to take this fluffy small brush and blend out my concealer. So you want to place your concealer in all the places, the high points of your face where you want the light to hit. So that's why you do under your eyes, down the bridge of your nose, and on your forehead. So now that that's all done, I now want to set my face before I go in with any powders, because my face is obviously so sticky. So it's like when you set the base of your eyeshadows, you have to set it with a powder to make sure that the rest of the products don't stick. So the powder I'm going to use is the Fenty Beauty loose powder. I am a fan of baking, so I like this because it's a loose powder, so it just makes it a lot easier for me when I'm baking. And this is in the colour, I think it's Butter. Yeah, Butter. This is a lovely colour because I usually like a translucent shade, but I've been liking this because the tiny tint of yellow is really flattering, and it just brightens under your face and under your eyes even, and just creates a really flawless finish. So I'm just gonna dust this all over my eyes, very generously under my eyes, and I'm gonna kind of let it just sink in and set for a minute, just to bake. And basically baking under your eyes just allows the powder to sink in, and it makes a really airbrushing effect under your eyes, and you'll see in a minute. I'll come closer and I'll let you see that under my eyes they'll look very flawless and airbrushed, and that's because letting the powder sink in for a minute, it sinks into your skin and just creates a flawless finish. So again, another place that I like to bake is my laugh lines in my face. If you find that you crease here and here in your around your mouth, it's your laugh line. So it just means that you probably haven't set your foundation enough. So I like to make that weird face and just set around my face, and it just means that my creasing basically doesn't happen as much. So now I'm just going to take a big fat powder brush and a good bit of powder, and we're just going to don't forget to set down the neck, super important. And I have this all over my top now. So now I'm going to go into some contouring. So we're just going to add some definition to your face, just like we added some definition to the eyes. So I'm going to be going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit. This is loved, used and abused, as you can see. So I'm going to be taking just a little Morphe brush that looks like this. This is just kind of, it's a lovely shape, as you can see. It's quite dense and fluffy, so I find this really nice and easy just for getting into my cheeks. So the colour that I'm going to use is this colour right here. It's quite a cool brown, so obviously this isn't bronzing, so you don't want to use an orange tone bronzer for contour. You need to use quite a cool tone because you're going to be adding depth and shadow into your face. So I'm just going to be adding this into my cheekbones. And as you can see, you can already see that definition just coming up around my cheeks. I love contouring my jaw, so I do use quite a bit of brown under here. Get rid of my double chin. Again, just like eyeshadow, you have to make sure that this is super blended. The literal key for makeup is just having the patience to blend. Again, another part is optional. I like to contour my nose, so again, I just literally take this brush, give it a little squeeze, and just do the tip of my nose. Squeeze the brush and do down the bridge of my nose, like so. This just gives the appearance of a slightly more snatched nose. I like to also do under my lip. Gives the appearance of a bigger lip. And in between my keep with the bow. So now for my favourite part, I'm going to go in with bronzing. So I'm a bronze queen. So first bronzer I'm going to use is Gimme Some by MAC. This is a really nice bronzer because it's quite an orange tone. Now, a lot of people don't like an orange tone bronzer, but me on the other hand, I like to glow, so I love that. So I'm going to be taking this blank canvas 580 brush, and this is basically a humongous version of the little contour brush, and just going to tap into my bronzer and basically put this everywhere where I put the contouring. This just blends really nicely in with the colour of the contour that I used, and it just makes you look sun-kissed basically. Fake it till you make it, honey. You are going to have to excuse the colour of my hands, I did forget to fake tan. So because I'm a bronzer queen, I'm just going to go in with a shimmery bronzer. I like to just brighten my face and use a shimmery bronzer, and I find that this blends really nicely with your highlighter as well. So I use the Milani base bronzer in Soleil. Oh, you can see it there. It's just basically the exact same as MAC Give Me Some, but it has a nice golden shimmer to it, so it just adds a nice shine to the cheeks and again brightens the face. So the second last step I'm going to do is take some blusher just to again brighten the face, add some colour back into my skin. So I actually really like taking an eyeshadow as my blusher just because this is MAC's Rule. This is just a really nice shade because it's kind of like in between a blusher and a bronzer, so I find that it like just blends all my products really nicely together and just adds a nice colour back into your face. So I'm just going to take the same brush that I used for my powder, dip this in and lightly tap off the product just because you don't want to go OTT on the blush. So I'm just going to do a little smile and really lightly drop my brush, clearly just blend it all together. I like to put my blusher on my nose and my forehead because when you naturally get sun-kissed by the sun's going to hit you on the nose and on the forehead, so obviously you're not going to look very natural with a full face makeup on, but it just... So I'm just going to take a big fat powder brush, a big huge one. This one is from Morphe, and I'm literally just going to go over my whole face and just make sure that everything's blended nicely, not too harsh lines. So I'm going to now just go back into my eyes and I'm just going to start blending underneath my eyes. So if you're a beginner and you're not really good at doing eyeshadow, a step that makes it look like you've put in a lot more effort and you've done a lot more work than you actually have is putting eyeshadow underneath your eyes because it just blends it all together. So basically I'm going to do what I did on top of my eye underneath, but I'm going to skip the transition stage. So I'm going to go straight in with the orange colour that I used. I'm going to use this on a teeny tiny bullet brush just that fits nicely underneath my eye. And I'm just going to blend. I'm going to drag the eyeshadow from underneath my eye and blend it across. This just adds a really nice shape to the eye and it kind of just brings the whole look together. I find that if you have never put eyeshadow underneath your eye, I definitely think try it out because it's a bit of a game changer. So again, just like we did on top of my eye, I'm going to take a clean fluffy brush and I'm going to blend and smoke underneath my eye out. You can already see that it's just brought the whole eyeshadow look together. So I'm just going to darken the teeny tiniest bit. So I'm going to take this tiny little flat angle brush like this, and I'm going to take the darkest colour that I used on top of my lid and blend it down the bottom. So I'm going to take this dark chocolate brown right here, tap off the excess, and I'm just going to run this as close to my lash line as I can, and I'm not going to drag this colour all the way across, just in the outer corner. Again, this just adds a really nice smoky effect, and it just brings the whole look together. So I have eyelashes on, so this is usually when I stick on my eyelashes, but I just need to do some bottom mascara. So yeah, I've literally just done my bottom mascara there. I'm just going to do a couple of little finishing touches. So I'm just going to go back into my eyebrows and just make sure that the powders and stuff that I've used hasn't gone through. Sometimes just because I do my eyebrows first. A lot of people like to do it after they've done their face makeup, but if I'm doing quite a eyeshadow or a slightly more dramatic eye, I'll usually do my eyebrows first. So I'm just gonna go back with my product Anastasia Beverly Hills again and just go through my eyebrows and make sure that the powder hasn't gotten on them. I'm also just gonna make my eyebrows a little bit more fluffier, so I'm just gonna take the MAC Benefit Gimme Brow and just brush my eyebrow hair. This just sets them in place as well, so love this stuff. So I'm now just gonna set my face just before I do my highlighter. I like a blend and highlighter, so I find if I wet my face first, it just kind of makes the highlighter pop a little bit more. So I'm going to use the MAC Prep and Prime Fix Plus, but this is the one that's shimmery, so I'm just going to give myself a spritz. Just going to let that dry for a minute. So I'm now going to go in with my highlighter, the best step. I'm going to use the Morphe M510, if you know, you know, best highlighter brush ever, and the same colour that I use on my lid. I'm going to use the Oh Darling highlighter from MAC. So the last step is just my lips, and I'm going to be taking the NYX lip liner in the colour London. This is a great little dupe for the MAC Strip Down lip liner if you ever want to try. I like to overdraw my lips a lot, if you can't tell. So I'm just going to do that lip liner, and then I'm just going to go in with a gloss. My favourite gloss ever is the Fenty lip gloss. This is the Gloss Bomb in the shade Fussy, and this is just a gorgeous lip gloss colour. If you're a gloss gal, oh my god, you need to try this stuff. It's unbelievable. And that's basically it. Do you want to stop recording this for a sec so I can fix my hair, and then I'll do the outro and the intro. So this is the finished look. As you can see, it's just like a soft little glowy look, and loads of highlighter and just a basic eyeshadow. So yeah, if you guys liked this, be sure to give me a like down below and comment, and just let me know any other things that you'd like to see, and if you'd like to do a little bit more of a dramatic look, and you'll see just a little few close-ups at the end of the video. Thanks so much for watching. I got you.